All right. Welcome in. I'm so grateful that you've all found yourself here, whether through one of my good friends who shared my work with you or through myself. I know you're here for a reason, and I'm super excited to help you discover it over the next few days that we'll be spending together. So before we jump in, take a second, close off distractions like I'm going to do right now. Phone notifications, allow yourself the time and space to just be present, okay? If we've never met, it's so nice to meet you. I would love to hear from you. If you haven't already, introduce yourself in the group. Let me know you're watching in the comments. I love connecting with people all over the world. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little piece of my story to open up today, just so we can get to know each other a little bit more. Okay, so I became a mom unexpectedly shortly after arriving back in Canada. I had been roaming the world for give or take 6 years solo. Okay. I honor that part of my life in such a big way because it taught me so much about myself. Solo travel allowed me the time and space to explore parts of myself that I never understood and felt like were not accepted or appreciated because of my situations growing up. So when I gave birth to my son, Macawi, nearly 7 years ago, my entire life changed, which I guess is normal for a majority of first-time parents, but I started questioning everything. I wasn't sure who or what to trust. Marketing towards new parents is crazy, and I knew I didn't want to put synthetics on or near my baby. So at the time, I was a self-employed yoga instructor and a commercial residential house painter. I quickly realized that I needed to find another way to make my money, right? I didn't want to give my baby to someone else to raise. And with no help from the father, who I barely knew, I didn't have any options. Okay, so I don't know if this maybe is relating to some of you, or maybe this sounds like a similar situation that you had found yourself in or have been through. I'm going to continue on for a second here. Because of my situation, I'm grateful that I was able to get help financially from the government while I needed it, right? But at this point in my life, I didn't even have a cell phone, never mind a computer. When it comes to online business, that's something that people think they need is a computer, right? I didn't even know how to use a phone, okay? So there's still hope. I was invited to help facilitate a yoga retreat when my son was under a year old. So this is where I was introduced to a product that changed my entire life. It didn't just solve a need for safe, natural, and effective healthcare for my baby, but it came with a business opportunity that I had complete control over that would open up my eyes to the world of online business. Okay, so I left that retreat more empowered than I'd ever been in my entire life. I started growing my knowledge. I started learning. Eventually, I got a phone, then a computer. I felt as I had literally discovered a gold mine and no one around me knew about it. So in that moment, I began to dream. I began to open up to the possibilities. I suddenly realized that I'd been playing way too small throughout my entire lifetime. So I want to ask you, have you been playing small? Have you had this realization? Does this relate to you in any way, right? Next question is, do I feel stuck? Do you feel stuck at the moment where you're at? I want you to take an honest note, okay? So clarity is power, just like I put in the ebook or the guide for today, the workbook for today. Clarity is power. It isn't a negative thing. We just need to know where we are so that we can know where we want to go. When we're clear on where we are, we're clear on what's not working, we're clear on where we want to go, we can then take some action steps to get there. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on today. I'm going to give you guys a couple exercises. Tomorrow, we're going to continue the conversation from today, and we're also going to open up to attraction marketing and how we can show up online in a space and in the online space in a way that's just magnetic to only the people that we want to serve and want to work with. Okay, tomorrow I'm also going to introduce you to a concept called affiliate marketing and to give you some examples of that. That's an untapped world in itself, right? All over the world, there's options and opportunities for affiliate marketing. And then on Saturday, I'm going to introduce you, or day 3, I'm going to introduce you to the concept of online course creation. And no, it doesn't have to mean that you're creating this, 6-month container, or it doesn't have to be this massive, heavy thing, right? It can be very expansive feeling. It could be actually the answer to passive income in your life. Okay, so I'm so stoked that you guys are here. Let's continue on. Let's jump into our first visualization here, or our first exercise here. So I want you to ask yourself, what does playing small mean to me, right? What does that look like? So this is a few examples. Playing small could look like staying comfortable in a job that sucks your soul dry, resisting change because you're afraid of the unknown, continuing to surround yourself with people who drain you, not trying new things because you're afraid of failure, not following your heart because you're not sure what everyone around you will think or say, not allowing yourself the freedom to dream because you've accepted that this is as good as life gets. Okay, so what moves us out of this stuck energy? A powerful vision of the future. Okay, this is what got me through all of my days as a single mom, building a business during nap times and through the night when my babies were sleeping. I had every reason to fail. I had every reason to stay stuck, stay where I was comfortable, right? This is what got me through when no one around me believed in me. This is what gave me the confidence to get on a one-way plane to Costa Rica alone with my 2- and 4-year-old children. Okay, so way too often people don't have a vision for their future, so they don't know where they want to go. They work so hard that thinking that is the answer, just to work harder, right? They end up feeling defeated, sick, drained, burned out, right? Are all these feelings resonating, right? Have you been there before? You come to the conclusion that you must not be good enough, right? Oh, I'm not as good as I thought, or I can't do this. I don't know enough. I'm not blah, blah, blah enough, right? When really it's just because you're not sure or certain enough on where you want to go. Okay, so I love this quote. When your reasons for staying where you are greater than your vision for your future, you will always find a way to stay where you are. Our brain is wired to keep us safe, right? So let's flip this. When your vision for the future is greater than your reasons to stay stuck, this is where the magic happens. So realizing this concept alone has the ability to not just help you to move closer to your dreams and goals, but to quantum leap you into that reality now. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to go through, a painful, slow process. Nobody likes that. It's like taking the Band-Aid off one little hair at a time, right? We want to rip it off and we want to quantum leap to where we want to go. Okay, so I want you to begin to open up to the opportunity, or the realization that is even a possibility for you. Okay, that's step 1. Okay, so do we believe that it's possible? Maybe we don't in this exact moment, but we will work towards it. Okay, here's a few questions to reflect on. Do you believe making money is hard? Do you believe it takes a lot of work? Okay, these are all really good reflection questions. Do you believe that you aren't worthy of earning money because of how you were raised, or because of how you perceive wealthy people? Really good questions, right? These are all subconscious belief patterns that are keeping us where we are. Everything that comes up when we're asking ourselves those questions is so, so important. Okay, so I'm going to continue on here. Every one of you is here because you have a tiny spark, even if it's tiny, tiny, inside of you, that is waiting to be discovered and nurtured into something great. right? Life is too short to continue to play small. We're limitless. We are limitless creators that can think thoughts and have them manifest into our physical reality nearly instantly. Okay. And if you don't believe that right now, that's okay. It's a work in progress. Just planting that seed for now. Okay. Next, I want to ask you, where do you want to go in your lifetime? So what do you want to be known for? Sometimes allowing ourselves this opportunity to dream can be a little tricky, right? It's a consistent daily work to unpack our past baggage and what we felt the need to carry for this long, right? So to be honest, this work is super suited. It's more suited in a one-on-one situation. So we can really unpack it and work, what actually is holding you back, what belief patterns you have, where they come from, so we can begin to let them go and let them be free, right? But over the next few days, I'm going to share a few of my tools that I use almost daily as a practice to stay in vibrational alignment with my dream life. Okay, so if you're in the place to do so, I'm going to take you on a short guided meditation here to meet your future self, because this is a vital piece for the rest of the 3 days. Okay, so if you're in the place to do so, I'd love for you to take part with me. If you're busy or driving, you can come back to this recording at any time, okay? So if you have the PDF, grab it, make sure it's beside you or open on your computer. Or a notebook and pen would do as well, because I know that a lot is going to come up for you as we're going through this little meditation here. Okay, so before we dive in, I'm going to teach you a little tapping exercise, because I am a huge believer in EFT, and I strongly believe it's helped me to get where I am today, to get out of my own way and to build that belief in myself, even through all the stuff that was keeping me stuck, right? So here's what we're going to do is basically what you can bring your hands open like this and take your 2 fingers and you're tapping on like the sides of the fingers. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many times you tap. You can just go back and forth as you're tapping. What happens here is we are tapping on acupressure points here. And as we start to go through the meditation, this helps us to shift our emotional state, okay? And so if you're in the place to do so, continue tapping on the side of your fingers and close your eyes and sit a little taller. Take a deep breath in, fill the body. Feel your spine getting straighter. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, fill the body. And exhale at the mouth, allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears, and the body to soften, continuing to tap on the sides of the fingers. And one more time, let's inhale through the mouth. Sorry, through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Letting go of anything you were doing before this, anything you need to do after this. It's allowing yourself the time and the space to be completely and fully present in this moment. Continuing to tap and continuing to breathe. Feeling the earth beneath you. We are right here, right now. This is the only thing that matters in this moment. Continuing to tap on the side of the fingers, continuing to breathe. Okay. I want you to visualize in your mind's eye, you're walking down a path. Looking side to side. Where are you? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? You look straight ahead and you see someone walking towards you far off in the distance. And as you continue to walk, and you get closer to this person, you notice something interesting about them. As you get closer together, you notice that that person is you. She is your future self. How does her energy feel? How does she look? How does she carry herself? What is she wearing? How does she smile? She says hi to you as she gets closer. And of course, you say hi back. You're excited to meet her. And you ask her a question. What is that question? And she replies, spend a few more breaths here with her, observing her, spending time with her. If you need to ask her anything else, you can ask her now. She's excited to answer your questions. How do you feel in her presence? And then when you feel ready, you say bye to her, your future self, and you both part ways, continuing on your walk down the path. She slowly disappears into the distance, and you're once alone. You are alone in your current body. Take an inhale and come back to the room. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready, and you can stop tapping on the side of the hand. Take a breath. And I want you to grab your pen and paper and write down everything you observed. If this is your first time doing a meditation like this, I would love for you to come back and practice this, even every morning, every night before bed. Practice getting to know your future self is so important. Okay, when we are clear, when we show our subconscious mind our future self or our vision for our future self, it's going to draw us the roadmap. When we're clear on where we want to go, the next steps will reveal themselves. So I want you to write it out. What did your future self look like? What did she feel like? What did you ask her? What was her response? I would love if you guys would share in the group as well. Share what your experience was. Share all of these things. What was the question? So this future self is your next level self. This is who you are becoming by being here and doing this work. So going forward, you're going to be becoming this next level version of yourself. So coming back to this place, like I said, practicing this meditation, observing your future self, getting to know her and becoming her. Okay, we live in a vibrational reality. There's no sense in waiting for XYZ, until you're successful or until you own the perfect house or have a successful business. It's time to become a vibrational match for what we want in our lives right now. In doing so, the universe, or whatever word you choose to use, knows exactly what we want and brings it to us. Okay, so flip the page in the PDF if you have it. We're going, now that we know who we are here to be, or we have that glimpse, that vision into who she or he is, next we're going to discover who we're here to serve. Okay, so we're going to start this exercise today, and I will leave you to explore this overnight, and we can jump back in tomorrow at 11 Central Time again. Okay, so this is one of the most important aspects of online business. You might be thinking like, this is a little bit off, off track with what you thought we were going to be doing today. Mindset is 80% of our success. Okay, if we have these thought patterns, these beliefs in our head that we are in a specific situation because of a specific thing, and this is our reality, or we are not worthy of receiving more money because fill in the blank, or whatever it is, right? There, sometimes these beliefs that we have in ourselves are wild, right? They come from our childhood. They come from something someone said to us years and years ago, and for some reason, we've been holding on to them and identifying through them. Okay, so this is the biggest part of the work, is getting out of our own way, discovering who we are here to be, who we desire to show up as, stepping into ownership of that and becoming that person right here and right now, so we can become a vibrational match for our desires, our goals, our dream life, right? And our ICA, our ideal client or customer avatar. Okay, so the people that we are speaking to online or anytime, right? The people that we want to work with, the people that we are here on this earth to serve. Okay, so next in the PDF there's a little exercise where I ask you quite a few questions on who your ICA is. Okay, because if we show up online and we try to serve everybody, we try to make everybody happy, we try to not step on toes, we try to like please everybody, this is never going to work, right? People pleasing is never a good idea, but especially online. So you really need to get crystal clear on who you are, your next level self, and who you're here to serve. Okay, everything you're creating is for this person. So on the PDF, it says, what is her name or what is his name? Give them a name. How old are they? Where do they live? Do they have kids? What do they do for fun? Where do they hang out? What's their current annual income? Are they married? What are their dreams? What social platforms do they hang out on? And I want you to take some time with this. So this is really going to help you get clear on who your ideal client or customer avatar is. This is who you do everything for. Okay, so when you write your social media posts, when you create content, programs, courses, they are for this person. When you're networking online, you go into groups and hashtags where this person hangs out. You do everything for this person. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. If you take a look at that list that you wrote out once you have done this exercise of, what her dreams are, what her income is, where she hangs out, like how does she look, how does she dress, like all the things, what does she feel like, what similarities do you have with this person? Okay, so we live just like I mentioned before, we live in a vibrational reality. If we want to attract a certain person into our life, how do we do that? Like attracts like. We need to become them, right? So number one, I probably can assume that your future self looks, feels, acts, all the things similar to your dream client or customer. Okay, so, or partner, whatever you want to call it. So this is part of the work. There's a quote here that I love. If you want to soar with the eagles, you got to stop hanging out with the ducks. This is a big part as well, is taking a look at who you're surrounding yourself with, right? This is a way that we can begin to become a little bit more aware of our environment and how different aspects and pieces of our environment affect our own personal vibration. Okay, as we begin to up level in our lives, we might outgrow certain situations or habits or even people who we might feel are important in our lives right now. And maybe in the future, they become a little less important, and that's okay, right? Because we will recognize that certain situations or people impact us in certain ways, and we become even more protective of our energy because we are so driven and solid on that vision of what our dream life is, right? So I hope now that you have a little bit more clarity on who you want to be in this world and who is waiting for you to show up online. Okay, I encourage you to do that exercise tonight. Write out your dream person, right? Get so clear. And if you want to, again, come back and listen to that meditation again and really get to know, hang out with your future self, get to know her. And every day, what can you do to become her? How can you act from that space of certainty and a vibrational alignment with that person, right, as your future self? And so if you have stuff coming up in this, like, yeah, okay, well, it's easy to act like it, but how can I actually, when I have this, and this going on? Write that down, because those are your golden nuggets. Those are your secret keys that are ready to unlock your success, right? They're so important. All of those things that are coming up, any blocks, anything that's saying or telling you why you can't do this or why you can't be successful, why you can't stay in vibrational alignment with your dream life, write them down. Okay, that's the biggest part of the work. It's like there's an analogy of going to the gas station and using all of the gas before you even leave the gas station. Like going to yoga, part of the work is trying to stay in that yogic space and that mindset even after you're off the mat. Okay, so that's part of the work, is as we are getting to know our future self and starting to understand her and starting to become her, part of the work is staying in that space. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, you guys. I hope it wasn't too glitchy on the recording here. Tomorrow, we have an exciting day. We're going to talk about passive income, which I know a lot of you are here to learn about. We're going to get into the really good stuff, but this was the most, this is a very important part of what we're here to do, is getting out of our own way first. Okay, so it's a continuous practice, a daily practice. But tomorrow we're going to talk about passive income, residual income, and the difference. In case you don't know, I'm going to introduce you to something called attraction marketing. We're going to talk more about our ICA and how we can show up and serve them in a way that is magnetic. Okay, we're also going to talk about affiliate marketing, like I mentioned. Okay, so have an incredible day. I'm super grateful for all of you spending this time here with me, and we'll see you tomorrow.